Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build. Today we'll be building a witch coven and a really cool house where they perform like creepy witch stuff. That's a little bit vague right now, but when we get to the actual build, it'll be like a lot more clear what I'm talking about. But right now we are building the actual witches in the coven themselves. So my channel has a lot of witch content on it. I've approached witches from a lot of different angles, and I wanted to do something new with witches. So this is from the perspective of kind of like a Desperate Housewife scenario. I kind of wanted to take the classic idea of a witch coven and put it in the suburbs, which I know sounds boring, but I love the drama of, suburban rich lifestyles. I mean, that's the whole show of Desperate Housewives. It's so freaking fun. But basically, that's the concept here. Is we have a bunch of very rich, wealthy suburban housewives who are in this totally evil, satanic witch coven. So yeah, that's the concept. Right now, we are building our leader of the witch coven. Her name is Catherine, and she is absolutely conniving. I imagine that she is like totally evil, definitely very cruel, merciless, very, she's definitely very self-centered and, always, taking care of herself. But that being said, she's still the leader of this coven, so everyone kind of listens to her. She makes all the big decisions. I imagine it's because she's probably the most powerful witch is the reason why she's the leader. She's not necessarily like the wealthiest, suburban person. She's just, the most magically adept. Yeah, this is her. I love her like freaking blazer. She looks so classy, so chic. She's definitely someone who like runs her own business. She gets stuff done. But yeah, that's Catherine Hart. Let's move on to her right-hand woman. This is Sonia. Like I said, she's her right-hand woman, so she basically does everything that Catherine wants. She's a yes man. She's just, like, absolutely yes. Like, she cannot say no to Catherine. Like, she will do anything that Catherine wants. She will kill babies. She will kidnap people. She will do terrible, terrible things. And she will do it all with a smile. Because, I don't know why, like, maybe it's possible maybe her and Catherine were, like, childhood best friends. Maybe that's an interesting angle. Or maybe, like, it's possible that Catherine has, like, some sort of blackmail on her. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like there's, like, a lot of different headcanons you guys could come up with, a lot of different ideas. So let me know if you guys have any concepts for anyone in this coven or the build or anything at all. Let me know. But Sonia herself is pretty fashionable. She's definitely very cute. I love her glasses. I love her bun. I love this like cardigan I'm gonna throw on her. She looks like super like chill and like a person I would definitely be friends with in real life. But beneath that exterior, she's definitely like super evil on the inside, which is so interesting. And I love her like black gloves. Like she looks like she's up to no good. Like she's gonna go do some creepy witch shit, But yeah, she's a perfectionist, she's a genius, and she's an insider because she's kind of probably the person who knows like all the gossip inside the coven. Anyways, moving on to our next person. This is Pauline. She is definitely like one of the youngest people in this coven. I imagine she's not as wealthy as the other moms. I imagine her as being probably actually kind of down like financially. Like she probably needs a lot of help, which is why they're kind of taking advantage of her by like providing her with financial support, but in that way they can like control her. And get her to do, like, evil magic stuff for them. You know what I mean? But I feel like Pauline is such a sweetheart. I feel like she definitely, like, doesn't want to do bad things. But for some reason, she just got, like, roped into this whole witch thing. And even though she's, like, good at magic and she has, like, these natural, like, powers and stuff, she probably feels very conflicted about it, and definitely, like, is trying to get out of it if she can. But for the meantime, unfortunately for Pauline, she is stuck in this terrible, terrible coven. Our next witch is Carmen. So Carmen, I imagine, is kind of like the maker / like potions master, like anything having to do with, like, hexes or like making like witch objects, you know what I mean, like specific like making stuff with magic. It is definitely Carmen's job. So that's like her specific skill set and what like her purpose is in the coven. But Carmen's pretty cool. I really like her hairstyle with the braid. I feel like she's definitely also like kind of down to earth and probably isn't like super. Oh no, I changed her braid. Never mind. I thought she had a pretty braid, but I guess I changed it. But anyways, okay, so Carmen, oh no, now she has even prettier braids. Okay, so Carmen is probably kind of like Pauline, where she's not like super down for all the evil stuff, but she kind of does it anyway to like get by. So she has like this, like, she can like remain supported by the rest of the witches. Because, these are definitely the kind of witches where it's like, if you leave the coven, like, they will kill you. Like, they're, like, you cannot leave once you're in it. They are very brutal people. Next, we have Victoria. So Victoria is definitely, like, the richest of them all. Like, I imagine that she's very, like, ruthless and cunning. And she probably butts heads with Catherine a lot. But at the end of the day, she's still loyal. You know what I mean? Like, they definitely, like, go at it. But, like, she would always choose Catherine's side because she just knows that Catherine's, like, the most powerful. And she will always win with Catherine. But that being said, Victoria in herself is, like, absolutely evil, and she also will do anything, that she can to get exactly what she wants. But yeah, I love her power pantsuit. She looks amazing. I adore Victoria. Our next witch is Katie. So Katie's kind of like the black sheep, I would say. Like, she's definitely a lot younger than the rest of them. She's probably, like, Pauline's age or, like, even younger than that. Maybe she's, like, a teenager. But I imagine, like, the witches in the coven, like, Catherine definitely did not want Katie, like, to be a part of their coven, but they kind of had no choice, because she's probably, like, a very powerful witch, I imagine. Like, she's very young, but she's very, very powerful, and they figured it'd probably be better to, like, have her join them and, like, use her powers for their gain, rather than, like, start a war with her or kill her or something like that. So Katie's only here because she's useful to the coven, but they probably, like, have a huge distaste for her, I imagine. As you can see, she has a nose ring. She's going to be a little bit more punk, a little bit more cool. Definitely not the same vibe as all the other witches. Like, they're all, like, very rich, fancy, like I said, suburban housewife kind of vibe. But Katie is totally cool. Like, she's very, like, very teenager, very punk rock, definitely gonna butt heads with everybody else. And if there was ever a breach, like a... what's it called? Like, if there's ever, like, what's it called? Oh my god, I'm forgetting the word. A mutiny. Katie would definitely side with whoever is being mutinous, which we will get to in a second. You'll see what I mean. But let's see who our next witch is. This is Clara. So Clara is mutinous. Clara is going to definitely be challenging Catherine and trying to split up the coven and start her own coven. So I imagine that she, like, initially is part of the coven, and then at some point, like, she and Catherine just, like, totally have, like, a different set of ideology. So she's just like, screw this, I'm leaving, I'm starting my own thing. And she convinces, like, Katie to leave with her, and she's trying to, like, split up the coven. Like, there's definitely going to be lines drawn. Like, we are preparing for an all-out war in this coven because Clara is just, like, totally disagreeing with Catherine on everything. I'm definitely Team Clara. I don't know about you guys. Let me know if you're Team Catherine, Team Clara, but I'm definitely Team Clara. I feel like she's definitely going to be more kind. Like, she's still, like, evil in the sense that, like, she will do bad things to, like, get ahead, and she will use bad, dark magic and stuff. But, like, she's probably less cruel than Catherine. This is Clara's little sister, Cleo. She is a teenager. I imagine that she's probably pretty good friends with Katie. She is also a witch and also part of the coven. And I imagine part of the reason that Clara eventually leaves the coven is actually to protect Cleo. Because maybe, like, they had, like, some plan that would, like, put Cleo in danger. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I am sure you will come up with a lot of cool backstories. I love reading them. It's like... This is going to sound super pretentious for a second, but let me just explain. I feel a little bit like J.K. Rowling sometimes in the sense that, like, I can, like, create this world in my brain, and then you guys, like, are, like, the people writing fan fiction who just go insane and write these really, really cool things that are better than anything I could ever come up with. No offense to J.K. Rowling, but I've read really good fan fiction that's better than some of her writing, to be totally honest with you guys. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, is that, like, I feel like I can come up with these ideas and you guys can just, like, roll with it and totally just, like, vibe with me, and we can just be creative together, and I just totally love that. Anyways, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So this is the Suburban House, where basically the witches come, or, like, the coven comes and meets up and does, like, their satanic rituals. So, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but basically these witches are kind of like old school, like, Salem type of witches. They're not, like, modern new age witches. Are not, like, nature witches. They're, like, that brand of witches where they're like deal with the devil kind of witches, you know what I mean? Satanic witches. So you'll kind of see when we go inside this house, I actually like set up like this cute little satanic ritual in the living room. But basically the story behind this house is that I imagine that this is like a second property that one of the witches owns. Maybe Catherine, probably, that would make the most sense. And of course she has a second house because she's super, super rich. But this is like a house that no one is ever in. Like she bought it for the purpose of having like coven meetings there, and like it would be totally off the grid because no one ever comes here, right? Because it's like a house like off near the beach, you know? So it's like a secluded, nice little like private meeting space for them, so no one ever comes here. It's not in any sort of neighborhood. It's just a house somewhere that she bought for this purpose. And of course it has like your classic white picket fence. It's definitely super suburban, and I just love the contrast between like the suburban, you know, perfection and like the satanic ritual stuff that's gonna go on inside. I just love the subversion of that expectation, and I think it's just so freaking fun. You guys, if they made like a Desperate Housewives type show but with like witches and magic, I would like absolutely watch that. I would love that. Maybe that already exists and I just like don't know about it. And if it already exists, let me know because I would like to check it out. But that is totally up my alley. Anyways, we're on the inside of this house now. It's gonna be pretty like light in terms of decoration because no one actually lives here. Like I said, it's just like a second home, like for the purposes of like the witches meeting. So the home itself is gonna be like relatively empty except for like a few pieces of furniture here and there. But other than that, I think it's going to look pretty cool once we start getting into the satanic stuff. I do imagine that this is also kind of probably like a safe house. Like if anything ever goes wrong with like the covens, or if there's like a coven war or something, it can act as a safe house where they can come here and like stay the night and board up because like they're witches, right? So I imagine there's probably some sort of spell over this house that like protects it, or like keeps like unwanted visitors out, you know what I mean? So they definitely got something like that going on. But here we are gonna put in the wallpaper. It took me a second to kind of, you know, choose my wallpaper and figure out the vibe I was going for. And now that I think about it, I don't even remember what wallpaper I chose. So it'll be a surprise for both of us. I guess it's this one. That makes the most sense. But I was going for kind of, you know, classy, wealthy, like suburban vibes. Really quickly, we're going to do the kitchen. Like I said, no one lives here, so I'm just like going to put in the basic furniture for a kitchen. I imagine like they probably use it like sometimes because, you know, you probably get hungry during your coven meetings. We got this old style fancy stove. It's really pretty. I'm gonna put in some cabinets. I really want to get to the satanic stuff. I can't wait to show you guys the satanic stuff. I want to get past all this kitchen stuff. But the kitchen stuff is so cool. Look at the kitchen. Ooh, kitchen stuff. We're gonna put some chairs in here. Like I said, they probably grab some snacks in there sometimes, so it makes sense for them to have chairs. And a broom because, you know, it's dusty. Okay, we're gonna get to the living room now. So like I said, nobody lives here. So a lot of the furniture, as you can see, is covered in cloth because, you know, they just like drape, you know, like when people don't live in spaces or like when houses are like closed, you know what I'm talking about? Like people like throw cloth over their couch. Is this a real thing or is this just something in the movies? I don't know. But this is something I imagine happens in real life where people just like throw cloth over furniture. But in this specific scenario, it actually looks pretty creepy. Like there are like ghosts in the room and I think it looks pretty cool. So as you can see, we have that satanic circle in the middle of the ground with a skull. So definitely super, super creepy, super bad vibes going on here. So they definitely perform rituals here. They definitely have sacrificed some people. I don't know how they're getting away with this in this like tiny, you know, suburban town that they live in, but somehow they have everybody fooled and they are getting their way. I'm putting some like little like details on the house and make it look a little bit worn down because I really wanted the idea that this house is, even though it's very expensive and fancy, like nobody like takes care of this place because nobody lives here and it's like off, like away from the rest of the town. So it's a little bit run down, but it's nice enough where these rich ladies feel comfortable here. Back here on the right is our meeting room. So this is like where all the witches would gather to have like their main meetings. This is where all the drama would happen, obviously, where they'd have like those big arguments, you know, over which stuff, I guess. Then up here, we're just gonna quickly decorate this bathroom because, you know, sometimes even in the middle of a witch meeting, if you gotta go, you gotta go. So there's a bathroom up here. And then in the rest of these rooms, I'm just gonna throw in like little bits of furniture here and there, like not like fully decorating, just kind of like half decorating to imply that like there's like people kind of here, or like it's being used as storage and stuff. I don't know. There's just like little pieces of furniture here and there. And we are almost about done with this build. As we are wrapping up, please let me know what you guys think of this. Please let me know if you have any ideas, because I know you do. I know that you thought of some stuff while I was talking about this, and I want you to tell me about it, because we need to vibe, and I love vibing with you guys. So definitely let me know what your ideas are. But yeah, that's the build. It was really fun to do. It was a very like high concept build, which I've kind of been doing a lot of lately, like high concepts for some reason. I guess I'm just feeling very like I don't know, very storytelling in my brain a lot recently. And also, if you guys have any, ideas for other, spooky month builds, this one was pretty spooky, but let me know if you guys have any more ideas for me to build. And Halloween is coming up very, very soon. Let me know if you guys have any like fun costume ideas, because I do not have any costume ideas for myself. I don't even know if like I'll have anything to wear a costume to, but I'm sure you guys will, so please let me know if you have any fun plans or any fun costumes coming up. Anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.